Oh, God.
Yeah.
I was like, so we got to start a new life, so that we're getting another.
No, not new life. No. Just
Yeah.
stranded for
No,
like a couple of days.
I
Like,
do that though. I get into
with?
that, man, because if I'm there forever. Yeah, like I gotta have, like start again. You know what I mean? But she won't want to hear that.
Yeah, no. I was trying to save you, man, by being like, you don't have to take your missus in it.
Yeah.
But you, man,
Yo, just wrapped up episode 1 of the Not for Likes podcast.
All about cutting them a charger, and I learned how they how I got them. Them man splash on nonsense. Master the team, do it properly. Master the craft like a blacksmith. Embrace the blackness. Master the team, do it properly.
Let's go. Here we are. It is February the 12th.
Come on.
Our official debut, Not for Likes podcast. Yeah. Sound in the applause.
Come on.
Let's bring in the applause. We made it.
Wow, we've done it.
From,
you know what I mean?
From idea to being physically here.
Yes. I just want to introduce myself real quickly. My name is Mike Edwards. You can officially go by the name of Man Like Mike.
Man Like.
I am Darren the Dentist Stewart. I'm known for like knocking out teeth in my sport, but you can call me Dentist. So I'm known as
the Dentist.
And over here we have...
Yeah, I am Jude, but a lot of people call me DrJude because that's what I'm colloquially known as. I'm an orthopedic and trauma surgeon, so while Darren breaks bones, I fix them.
Hey, bars.
Yes.
So that's it. That's
nice one. Listen, why are we here, lads?
Boy.
Why are we doing this?
Listen, Mike, when I got the call, I knew it was going to be magic. So, so yeah, I'm here because we got a lot to share. We've been through a lot, like as men, fathers, professionals in our own right.
And I'm glad you guys heard at me because what I was saying to you guys previously, like I've been told, I think it's my persona, you know, my personality. Darren, you need to be in a podcast. You need to do a podcast. So now I'm here. You asked for it.
Let's do it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, initially when I called you guys up, it was like, let's bring the boys together. Let's do something for the culture. Let's do something for our legacy.
Absolutely.
And for our community, you know. At the end of the day, you know, we're 3 black men, family men.
Amen.
We're also productive members of society.
Born and raised, most raised in East London, like it's our community. As you
I can't really claim East London, but my missus.
No,
big up to
we claim you.
Yeah,
we claim you.
Family.
We claimed you.
But yeah, definitely. There's a lot of synergy there, and I knew once we get us all in one room, we'll be able to fire some magic.
Absolutely, man.
I just want to start off with like where and how we all met. You know, Darren, do you want to join? You want to start this one?
Yeah, well, I met Jude through you, as you know.
Yeah.
Organizing this podcast and joining up and stuff for the Zoom call and that, and straight away, I liked the energy. I like the way you carry myself. So I said, yeah, from this, we're family.
Yeah.
And I met yourself through Perry. I grew up with my brother, Joshua, who used to spit bars.
Oh yeah,
as we do and play football and that stuff. Yeah. I got to know Perry as well, and then met you. And, it's a privilege knowing you guys, you know. So I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah. We met officially. Was it in lockdown? Was that the official time we met?
In the park?
Yeah. So we were social distancing, going on our annual what daily walks or something like that.
Those were mad times.
What was I even doing in the park? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I remember that day exactly.
Yeah.
I was coming home from training, and my missus said, "Darren, come and get your son, man. He just keeps crying." So that's how I was there at the park. Otherwise, you never see me.
Yeah.
And then I must have dealt with him, and I left him. And then I saw you guys.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, yeah.
And we just was, you know how refreshing it was to just see a familiar face around your local during those times. You know, I think my son was, he had to be maybe less than a year old, and he was just, you know, just trying to be active and like do stuff. But it was nice when we was able to link up with you and just like see. I feel like you were still training as well. I was still training. It was hard times, but we was, you know, we kind of relate during those uncertainties.
You know what I liked about the energy as well, is that like first time I saw you, we just clicked, we just started chatting.
Yeah.
So it's like our personas and our person that just clicked.
Definitely.
That's what I like.
Definitely.
And that's how it should be nowadays.
Family vibes, you know. And I'll just pivot over to Dr. Jude, because interestingly enough, I said that it's a family vibe.
Yeah.
But your sister is my son's godmother. You know, so it's like little like
also,
family.
You know, I've known your wife like pretty much her whole life.
Facts.
Because that's actually how we met, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because Perry and my sister have been friends since they were like 3 years old, and Perry's mom was like my auntie growing up. Because you know, in school, if my mom wasn't around, Perry's mom would drop us home. I remember she used to have this little Beetle back in the day.
Yeah.
Was it Beetle? It was a Beetle,
vintage,
little vintage Beetle. And so obviously, and Josh, Perry's little brother, was like, I used to treat him like my own little brother. So Perry's like family to us, and obviously Mike entered the picture. Mike became family as well. So it's been a minute. So
yeah. So you know, it's a beautiful thing, and like the fact that you know now we've created this space for all of us.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the stories will continue to grow, and we'll just be able to just kind of banter off these early times of like setting this thing up. But yeah, man, like I said, we're here now, and like I said, I feel like it's long overdue.
For sure.
You know, it's long overdue.
Let me ask you guys this, because actually, when we first were brainstorming like the name and the vibe,
Go on.
And like I can't remember. I think it was Mike. Was you throwing the name? You throwing that name because we obviously throwing in ideas, not for likes.
Yeah.
Came and I was like, the sounds vibesy, and it was available as well.
Take what you need, leave what you like.
So what does that mean to you? Like, not for likes, this sort of people. What does that mean to you?
Not for likes, man. It's generally it's an attitude. I'm not here for it to be liked. I'm not here to be everyone's cup of tea. I'm not here to be, you know, the key guy. No, essentially, it's a platform. It's a space. If you want it, here we are. You know where you find us. If you don't like it, keep it moving.
Yeah,
you know that's kind of the mentality. And I feel like if you apply that in life, you just block out the noise.
Absolutely.
You know, Darren.
As soon as you come out that name, you saw it, innit? I picked up a little caption on one of my videos on Instagram, and I had it there already. The reason I like the name Not For Likes because some people might think it sound ignorant, but I don't really care.
There you go.
Because I've been there, done it for likes. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was doing things for that. When I got to UFC, I kind of forgot who I was. And then I started doing, because I was at that level, you know, UFC on TV. I started doing things for likes, and then what happened was, because I'm not in UFC no more, them likes ain't there no more. So I'm just like, oh, okay, so you only like me when I was there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was a bad thing because, like, I don't keep repeating myself, but I forgot who I was as a person.
Yeah.
So now when I'm doing things not for likes, I'm happy.
Doing it for yourself.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can look at the man in the mirror and say, I'm not bothered. I sleep well at night. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it for likes.
Man in the mirror,
that's why, it might sound ignorant. That's why I like the name for me. I'm not here for likes. I don't care if you like me. You know what I mean? Because I got to that big level, not caring about likes. So why is it when I got to the top level, I started caring for likes? You know what I mean? Now I'm not at that level no more. I'm still big in people's eyes, but you know what I mean? I'm not actually at that level no more. I can get back there, but I'm not at that level no more. It's like, where's everyone that we're doing it for likes for? Do you know what I'm going to say? So that's why that name really sits with me. That's why I like it.
Speaking of being at that top level and, you know, embarking on like a journey that probably only a handful of men can actually claim, do you feel like it was the industry that created that that feel or need to entertain, not just for the viewers or the spectators there, but for the general public? Did you feel like you always, I would say, performing even outside of the arena? You know, when you say you're doing things for likes, can you explain to us what that means? Because I know what that means, but maybe someone else out there doesn't quite correlate.
Because I had the status, innit? I was a UFC fighter, innit? So when people see 3 letters, they just think, you made it and all that stuff, innit? So it's like, how can I explain it, man? How can I explain it? It's just, I don't know, when I got up there, because I was in UFC, and you know, it is social media as well. So being at a high level on social media, everyone saw that Conor McGregor feeling, that John Jones feeling.
Highlight reel.
So it's like
80 grand, baby.
Yeah, so it's a thing where, like, when I saw them, it's like, they weren't doing it for like, they were doing it because they were doing stuff because like people rated their style, the way they're fighting it. So I forgot about that. So then I was like, you know what, I've got to try and push something out there, get people like me. Even though they don't really like me, it's like, I'm in UFC, so I have to make people like me.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
No,
like,
I get it.
Messed up,
it
man.
is.
You feel what I'm trying to say, but it's like I never had that before that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't care about likes, and I got to that level.
Yeah.
So why is it because people see 3 letters, they feel they have to like me? Like me for me, they don't like me because I'm in the UFC.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's enticing though when you get to a certain level and then you get the lights and then you sometimes forget like how it all started.
Easily.
You forget like the passion that you had before and like what it means to you, and you just get like sucked into the lights and the life and stuff.
I mean, I can understand both ways because I've been in both situations, whether it be a sportsman or entertainer, and I do honestly feel like it's hard to tell someone to do something for yourself when you got thousands of people that are waiting for you for your next post, for your next interaction, for your next, you know, and there's also that idea of staying relevant. You know, as an athlete, we have 2 seasons, the indoor and outdoor season. Now, majority of the time, probably 80% of our careers is spent training. So if you're not being relevant in those 8 months, you know, you're essentially going to be forgotten. Yeah. And it's not necessarily about, you know, the athletes that are performing, breaking records that the brands are necessarily interested in. It's about those that are engaged with their audience, with their community, their fans.
That's it,
you know what I mean? It's the full package. And I feel like, you know, again, once you separate the two and once you can find something that you are just as passionate about, and you care less if it's just your mama and your dog that's
100%.
watching, that I feel like that's where the gems, the beauty comes out. You know, not for any applause, but again for yourself. And I think this is a great space of which I feel like is important because if you don't have an outlet, you know.
And for me,
where do you do it?
When you remember when you first got that name, I thought about it and I was like, I'm not sure. And then the more I thought about it, the more I liked it, because when I thought about my own personal journey, coming up from East London, born and raised, you know, as I said, like pretty much in the hood, and folks were young, just moved over from Nige. I was back and forth between Nige and East London. We didn't have much money and stuff. And then you know what it's like. There's this temptation to fall in with the wrong
Nigeria,
boy.
by the way.
Huh?
Yeah,
Nigeria, by the way.
Yeah, Nigeria, the building. There's a temptation to just fall into that youth culture, try and be roadman, try and do what's cool and stuff. And I remember deciding that actually, I don't care really about being cool, even though I was kind of cool anyway, but I didn't really care about that. Luckily, because I had my old man who was supporting me and giving me direction. And I remember deciding I wanted to do something with my brain, like I wanted to stay out of trouble, you know, but people were joining, you know, bad, you know, doing just doing nonsense. And I decided that actually I'm just gonna try my hardest not to be swayed by popular culture, youth culture. I'm gonna go to medical school, which was different from where we're from, And then even when I went to medical school, I remember telling my dad I wanted to become a surgeon. He was like, but you're already a doctor. Why you want to study more to become a surgeon? And I was like, listen, I don't know. I want to do it. And there weren't many people who look like us from where we're from doing that. So when I realized I was doing all of that for me and not for being liked or being cool.
Yeah, powerful name, man.
Yeah, I realized, that's...
You brought up something about being young, and it's how it is on the streets as well. People doing things for likes. And I just thought about it now, that this name, Not For Likes, so powerful, because Not For Likes can keep you out of trouble.
Yeah.
When you think about it, Not For Likes keep you out of trouble, man. But you don't care because people doing stuff on the road for the oldest and all that stuff.
Exactly.
But if you have that mentality, Not For Likes, you just get on what you want to do.
Do what you want to do.
In your
Be
case,
true to
your
yourself.
dad was saying to you, why do you want to go on? If you did it for likes, you would listen to your dad and not be where you are now. Do you know what I mean? But you know what? You thought, no, I'm not doing it for likes. Sorry, dad. I'm gonna go on and do. His name's sorry. I'm gonna waffle on. This name's powerful.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I like it. There's a Not For Likes, just being true to yourself, doing what you want to do, what you feel called to do, rather than for acceptance or appreciation by someone else.
Yeah.
And you know, eventually people will look at you when you like work for yourself. Like there's gonna be a time where people are gonna admire you for that, right? So
I think both of you mentioned, you know, dads, fathers, and you know, like I kind of want to touch on that as well because we're kind of going in that direction. Like, what does it mean for you to be a dad? What does it mean to you to be a dad? What does it mean to you to be a dad? Like, can you express that?
I'll start. You know when people say, "Oh, when you have a kid, it changes." I'm gonna be honest with you, it didn't really change me. I got more responsibilities, but in terms of like, remember you said to me like coming in. I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Before kids, I always to be somewhere on time. I don't
punctual.
Yeah, I don't care about. I don't like being late. I'd rather go somewhere and wait there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've been like that. I've always learned how to save money. All my friends call me, "Oh, you're tight, man. You're tight." Do you know what I mean? I'm not tight. I don't have to save. So like, I learned how to save even having kids. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so people say, "Oh, being a dad and it changes you." No, it don't really change you, man. It makes you a bit more, maybe a better person. What I'm trying to say is I've always been mature. Do you know what I mean? So having kids and being a dad never made me more mature. Do you know what I mean? I just have to balance things a bit better. Does mean the world to me to be a dad. I won't change it. Do you know what I mean? You know, stuff like you said, when you're going out and that, it's like, I go out sometime, my friends and that, it's like, I should have been with my family. Sometimes I'll stay to the club until late, and then I thought, no, I'll leave early, I'll go home, it's like, oh, mate, when my kids come through the door, oh, daddy. I could have stayed longer to the end of the club, but I'd rather have this, do you know what I mean? Like,
I like that.
Yeah, man.
I like that. Speaking of going out, you know, we had DrJude. You know, what's up, bro? I know you had a nice night. Yes, last night.
Listen, man,
go on.
I'm doing my second way, reliving my youth. Yeah, I went to the Brit Awards last night.
Okay, all right. Big up. Okay.
We got invited. Shout out to YouTube for inviting me.
Well done.
We went to the Brit
cool.
Awards after party after as well, and then
and
then we went out for like breakfast, duck and waffle at like God knows what time.
So you're hanging right now.
No, I'm good, man.
Type of dad.
I'm drinking my water, man.
Yeah, what's it like being a dad? Yeah, but
but that you know, those kind of ones you need like official invites from YouTube to show your wife to say, look, this is legit, like this is work.
You have to,
like I didn't see you on the Brit Awards, honey. I'm still waiting for you to make a cameo. Man, you wasn't at the Brit Awards.
Where was you?
The hardest one to explain was how come she didn't get a +1. I was like, listen,
it is what it is.
Yeah, trust me, man.
Yeah, but being a dad, it's a lot. So even this morning, I was obviously tired and stuff, and but then just to see them, they're like, daddy. We didn't see you last night because obviously.
Oh, they stayed up.
They stayed up late because their friends came over, so they had a little sleepover with their friends and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So the wife was home with the kids and then their friends and stuff. So you know, I was out. So you know, but it was still. It's just nice to come back, like you said, after all of that. And for me, like it did change me. I think being a dad, because I think for the first time ever in my life, I felt mortal. Like I could see that there was one day going to be a day where I wasn't going to be around. And then I look at my kids and I think, okay, what's my legacy going to be? Every time I look at them, right? So I feel like even now, my parents are still alive, thank God, but I still feel like I'm a walking legacy of my father.
100%.
Yeah, and so I want my kids to reflect me, and so I try my hardest to like impart wisdom on them. I'm super busy, as you know, right? But I just try and just carve out some time to spend with my son so he can learn. He's going through something at the moment. He's become so energetic and cheeky and troublesome, and I'm trying to like teach him and discipline him in it, but also kind of raise him at the same time. So
Lovely boy.
I don't want to like contain the energy, because I had a lot of energy myself. It's just to figure out how to channel that, right?
Speaking of like I said, I'm gonna pivot because I'm gonna touch on what you just said, because I was at his son's birthday party this year, and Spider-Man, that was such a dope birthday party. You know, I think it was like parents, everyone dressed up as super characters. It was nice. But speaking of energy, you know, because you mentioned that your son is going through something right now, and I feel like now we're getting into the culture, because from maybe the audience's listeners are tuned in, my accent is not quite East London. So I kind of like grew up, born and raised in Manchester, but grew up in Florida, United States. So for me, it was the environment. My environment was a big influence on how I was in school, how I was at home, how I spoke, how I dressed. And I want to say, when I was in the UK, I was so misunderstood. I thought I was a troublesome. I thought I was a rough guy. You know, I thought I didn't have a direction. I didn't even know what college looked like. I didn't know what university looked like. I didn't know any of those things. I used to walk past prep schools and look. They used to look like Harry Potter, what's it, Hogwarts or something. Hogwarts, and I was just like, you know, maybe after secondary school, that's it for me. Until I moved over to the US, and it was like I had like a genie that gave me like free wishes, and I can pick whatever. And it was, for me, I fell in love with sport.
Yeah.
When I fell in love with sport, it was my passport. That was it. I was clear. You know, then I started getting pamphlets from universities. So obviously I'm speeding through it, but in my mind, it was like, it was just my environment that I was in.
Absolutely.
And the teachers used to write messages to my moms at home, and it's like, oh, he's not paying attention, he's speaking in class. Who would have thought that would have been my career?
Yeah.
You know, who would have thought that I was gonna study communication and media marketing and be on television and travel the world? And that was my natural habitat, you know? So for them to then pigeonhole me, I always felt like, you know, that was, you know, I mean, the detriment to, like, basically youth, maybe the black children in our community. If they don't have that structure from family, they could essentially be labeled out the wrong image, the wrong title.
Absolutely.
And then that could ultimately lead them to, you know what I mean, a career of failure. You know?
I do a little bit of mentoring, talk at schools, and I do a little careers events and stuff, and also kind of, I'm very open on social media, so anybody who's interested in surgery, they often reach out to me, and we'll, you know, do like just some brainstorming about how they can, like, you know, maximize their potential. And one of the things I always talk about, my favorite saying, and I had to look at where it actually came from. It actually came from the Bible, from the book of Proverbs, and it says, whatsoever a man thinketh, so is he. And that basically means that as a man or as an individual, you are what you think you are. Yeah,
wow.
Not what the world is telling you that you are. 100%. But it's so easy for
the world today, though.
That's it.
I like that phrase you said, because that's what they're trying to do in the schools.
Yes, exactly. So when I'm telling these kids, I'm like, listen, the teachers might make you feel inadequate, or your surroundings might make you feel that you're not capable of being an athlete or a doctor,
thank you,
or whatever it is that you want to do. But actually, it's only you who have the power to decide what you do with your life. Yeah. And that kind of mindset shift is so powerful. Once you decide, okay, you know what? I am actually a talented athlete, or I am a talented, you know, public speaker or whatever. And then you hone in on that and go full in and train and practice. You become whatever the hell you want to be.
Why does it take for people like us to go into schools and telling them? Why are the schools not telling them that?
You know what?
Programming?
No, you know what it is? Because, like, and I'm gonna mention another story, but there was one guy who was a lawyer, and he had a friend that went to his house for dinner, and the guy that went to his house for dinner, he was a practicing lawyer or somewhere in that realm. He went to dinner and he was just like, wow, man, how are you so great at law? I'm struggling in class, man. What is it about about law? Like, how do you get it so much? And he was like, dude, like, it's not about so much like how great I am. It's just about the information that's been fed to me from home. My dad's a lawyer. My granddad is a lawyer. Yeah. So all we speak about in the house is law. So from someone from outside, you know, they're gonna look at this guy. This is a genius. Yeah. You are brilliant. But in reality, it's what you're feeding the inside. And I feel like one of the big things, this is what I feel like, you know, I discovered or I've noticed. I feel like it's harder in the Black community to open up about your feelings.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Man, you're too aspirational, man. Oh, man, you just be realistic. You know what I mean? Oh, man, like, I don't know, man. This one over here, you know, this one is thinking he's going to become the next Diddy. You know, why is it that, you know, we can't open up about our feelings, you know, without being labeled as, I don't know, too ambitious?
Yeah. Well, that's why the world's changing nowadays. Anyway, they're telling men to speak up more, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now, so I don't think the Black culture is liking that. Black families are liking that, but it's needed. But then some people are saying, "Oh, men are getting too soft now. Open up and that." But then,
did you have an outlet to be able to share your feelings as a boy from the streets of East London?
I want to say no, innit? I want to say no. Mummy might be watching this and thinking, why didn't you tell me nothing? But it's just too, like, I don't want to say she's strict. It's just hardcore Caribbean, you know what I mean? My dad don't really chat. So it's like, who do I go to? I just kept things in myself. So I remember my mum's a nurse, innit? So I was saying to myself, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a doctor. And then what happened was, I don't know, as the years went by, I found actually, no, I'm actually good at dancing. I'm actually good at doing PE. I'm actually good at football. So I use my own initiative and say, you know what, let me just run with that. Scary, took a risk at the time because I thought she'd be upset. But all she cared about is that I just got my 10, 11 GCSE, A to C, do you know what I mean? So when I heard that, I was like, okay then. When I saw that as a year's grant, I was like, okay, not too bad. Bit of weight on my shoulders. I thought I have to do this, do you know what I mean? But answering your question, I don't feel like I can just go to them and say, oh, mum, how this and that. She might be watching this and say, you know what, I'm sorry, you might be watching thinking, you could come to me anytime, but it didn't feel like that, innit? Because the culture's so powerful. I felt like if I went there and said that, it might sound mad, but I might get licks. It was, you know what I mean? Opening up, like, getting beatings and that, do you know what I mean? I go to a room, I don't want to hear that. That's what it felt like, innit? But if I'm wrong, mum, I apologize on camera.
No, man, listen.
I turned out to be all right.
This is
good.
Me?
So
this is good.
I think that's a well-known problem in, I say our culture because there's so many cultures within Black culture, yeah. But that is a common theme that we don't have the freedom and flexibility to speak and express our feelings because we've been through so much, right? I remember trying to tell my dad at times when if I was struggling, he didn't not want to hear it, and you also you almost don't want to come across weak to your parents. And if you look at like some of the statistics with regards to like mental health, it's quite alarming because we're the most likely of all the demographics to suffer with depression and anxiety, but we're the least likely to actually seek help.
So you added that the other day. You said something like that,
Yeah, so, you know, and I think that's a cultural thing. And that isn't even just mental health. That's even physical health. If you look at like cancer survival rates, like death from heart disease and all that stuff, we have the lowest survival rates. And I think the reason for that multifactorial, but I think the reasons is that your uncle or grand, they'll be suffering in silence. They'll die. His leg will been hurting for months, or his back been hurting for months. He's not going to complain, and he's going to show up to work. Meanwhile, you know, he might be actually suffering with a cancer or something, and he presents late, and therefore the survivorship is much lower. So yeah, we do need to just speak up.
It's mad you said that because. Imagine I'm preaching this now. I'm saying we should open up or whatever. Yeah, I'm still like that now.
Yeah,
it's mad you just said that. I could have a serious injury from training, and for months people asking me, "Oh, you've got the scan yet? Nah, man. Like, why not? Don't like bad news. But he said it could be getting worse. So I get that, but I don't want to go on. I just want to deal with it.
Just want to.
But it could be getting worse.
Firm it and work through it, right?
But you said that, man.
But yeah, so yes, there's several issues at play there. But yeah, I don't know.
But maybe we can get help. But then why there's things on social media nowadays? I keep saying social media because that's what it is nowadays. But what we're saying that men should do, you get called out being soft now. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like, you know, like I said, you mentioned that you had your dad was there, but he may not has been as vocal. And I feel like, you know, the pressures of males are already a lot when it comes down to, you know, being the head of the house and being you know, the provider, the one that, you know, is protector, you know. And it's like if you don't have that two-way, you know what I mean, line of like communication between your elder, you know, then you bottle it. You know, and when you bottle it, then you may express it. You know, you might go to, you know, the more lenient person in the family, which could be your mom, could be reversed, but it could be your mom, and then your mom, you know, shows you more love, and you probably connect more on that level. And then when you do run into another alpha male or you know, someone from in your community, or maybe the older head on the block, you kind of like cower to that, and then that again probably creates more, and it's just a broken chain, you know. And essentially it's like it's not fixed, so you mask it, you kind of like, you know, feel it back, and eventually you get to the age now where we're dads, now we're emotional, now we're more caring, now we're more accepting to listen, to hear, and to be present. Because, you know, one of the best advices I've ever received was you don't have to be perfect dad, but you have to be a present dad. You know, be there, you know. And to me, that's always been like a big dream, a goal of mine. You know, when I become a father, now I am, is just to, you know, be so active that it's, you know what I mean, that it's, you know, no one can ever say that, you know what I mean, you was not an impact, you know what I mean, or you wasn't never there, or you know what I mean, because we've all experienced things, you know what I mean, growing up, and maybe the things that our parents probably at least probably expect is to us to say, I wish you would have just came to one of our matches.
Yeah.
I wish you would have just came to just one of my recitals.
Yeah.
Oh, but I didn't know that it meant anything to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would. It changes a big trajectory, you know?
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, because again, like, she might be watching this, yeah. I don't want to be too bad, but she used to take me football, kind of in the cold and that, took me taekwondo lessons here and there. You know what I mean? So you did do some stuff, man. You know what I mean? My dad.
Shout out Mumsy.
Yeah, my dad.
Yeah, respect to
Mumsy,
man.
You did well.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy that when we have this conversation now, I sit and I think to myself, I'm just such a different dad, man.
Yeah.
Me and my sons, yeah, we're like best friends, but we're dads. So we play computer, play football, take him everywhere, go trampoline, whatever. I never done none of that.
Wow.
Yeah, none of that, my dad, yeah. But at the same time, you mess up, yeah, you know what it is. I don't do this time out. I ain't got to hit my kids. I was giving a certain look, I took a certain way, they just bow down and just get on with it. You know what I mean?
God forbid, Mr. UFC.
Look.
I don't want to catch any of those elbows
on the front page.
Come on now.
Saying that, maybe that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah? I don't try to show that because I'm a UFC dad. I want to be like,
my goodness,
teach my kids that, but maybe it is because of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
how is it? Obviously, violence plays a big role in your career. How is that in the household being
I love it, man.
having violence as like a
then you got to come be
focal,
fun dad.
you
got
know?
to go beat someone up.
Yeah,
I'm
not no expert yet, but I don't know how I balance it.
Wow.
But my kids are so nice. They're so good.
Yeah.
And I still show them violence and we fight and he's doing jiu-jitsu and they're like fighting each other. I can't sit here and tell you how I do it, but it's good. Sometimes my missus is like, oh, don't let him fight like that because I'm going to go to school. I say, look, when we go to meetings, what do you hear about my older son named Marlon? What do you hear about Marlon? Do you hear anything bad? Does he start fighting in school? No. Is he swearing that? No. Is he getting high grades? Yes. So what's the problem? Do you know what I mean? And it's not me trying to be big-headed over my missus and say I'm better than you as a parent. You do your role and I do my role. I don't know how I'll do it. I can't tell you boys how I do it yet, but I can play with them, fight with them. How many girls you get today? You know what I mean? Yeah. But they're still doing good.
Well, I think dad's influence, however you choose a father, is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, our better halves aren't necessarily going to understand what we're going to contribute as men. And you know, you're talking about social media earlier. Cancel culture is so strong now that I feel like a lot of men are worried to speak up because you even talk about certain, you know, things that might be important to you as being a father, being a husband, however you want to run your household. The feminist movement is so strong now, that if you
careful,
you see, that's it. Careful. Was that? Did you say alpha male?
Oh, yeah, careful now.
Careful there, bro. So you know,
I've got about 80% of female demographics.
So you talk about you father how you mother how you want, I father and that's cool, and you should do that. Absolutely do that, and you should be like this, you know, strong masculine dad and teach your kids to be strong, confident masculine boys.
I teach you the other half as well, though.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily your role. It is your role as well. I think we do have to teach our kids to be like emotionally intelligent as well, and to be able to articulate themselves eloquently, talk about how they feel. That's crucial as well. But actually, you know, get your kids, get them rough, get them playing jiu-jitsu, you know, the discipline that you get from that. So I think there's a lot to be said for that, especially in the current culture where, as I said, there's so much pressure on young men to almost give up the kind of masculine like nature that we have. So I think it's key.
I love my kids, innit? Yeah, I'll never change how they are, innit? Yeah, but it's on live, innit? It's live. I was gonna say it, man. It's like the mum does baby them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's good that I'm there. You know what I mean? It's good that I'm there to balance that. And I say to her, let me just do my part and do your part, because there's time where like the emotional and that. I mean, she's like, yeah, but the aging, I get it, but when I was young, like my mum's hardcore. Do you know what I mean? It's still lovey-dovey there, but I turned out to be all right. Maybe I was lucky. I don't know. I turned out to be all right. But she was hardcore. So I'm trying to put that hardcoreness in her. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you, it's like
it will make them strong.
Definitely. Yeah. Man, not sitting there, make them strong.
It
Like,
will.
if you fall over, you
Yeah.
ain't got to cry. It's fine, just get up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ain't got to go crying to your mummy all the time. Do you know what I mean? And I just wanted to be strong. That's what I just tried to make them be strong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I told my kids already, bro. I'm big Darren, ex-UFC vet. Yeah, I've cried on big national TV. I've done it. I don't care. People can't tell me nothing. I tell them I beat them up. So I can open up. I tell him to you. If you want to open up. Just tell him who your daddy is. You know what I mean? Like open up, but at the same time,
I feel like there's a certain level of masculinity where you're so sure of yourself, you're so comfortable in your skin that you can express yourself emotionally, unemotionally, and you can be unapologetic about it. And again, not for likes. It's an attitude.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, man, like when I hear like Mike Tyson and when how he's so sure of himself now as opposed to when he was, Iron Mike.
Yeah.
When you hear him in his interview now, he will express to you, you know what? I love daffodils.
Yeah.
I like pigeons.
Now, he's very
and
articulate,
he was so, but like when you look at someone like that who could break your face in, you're expecting him to eat bricks for breakfast, but it's completely opposite. You know what I mean? He needs to know the temperature so he can channel it. And that's where we get the beast, and even down to like the comic books or the Incredible Hulk. He was a scientist,
Exactly.
So it's very cool when you can like tame the beast. And speaking of, I like to go back because we're comfortable in our 30s now. What would you wish you knew in your 20s? That you know now?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go,
I was
bro.
having this conversation with my friend who I grew up in my before 20s. Just before I came to see you, I was having a conversation with him, about the youngsters, And one thing I wish I could change, is stop living the fast life. Because now there's sports science and all that stuff in it, No one told me, I don't know if I'm going to get off the subject, but no one told me, that you can have a rest day. You know what I mean? When you're training, you need your rest. Sometimes less is more.
Yeah,
because when I was growing up, it was like, come and training. Oh, you know what I mean? You're a wimp. You know what I'm saying? And now my body's paying for it. I'm not gonna go into too much about it. My body's paying for it. I was playing for 2 football teams, doing taekwondo and dancing at my missus' salsa all late at night. Not getting no one talking about you gotta get sleep. No one talking about you gotta get rest. You know what I mean? And now my body's breaking down due to wear and tear. So that's what, if I could change something more, I don't care about not being able to like, when you ask that question, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, man, I wish I could have gone to this country, that country and party. No, I don't give a damn about that. If I could change something, answering your question, is looking after my body a bit more. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I'm going through it now. And I tell the youngsters as well, because you see 3 letters, UFC, don't get there too quick. I got to UFC 2 years as a pro, which is like kind of quick. Most people get to UFC as 6 years, 7 years training, do you know what I mean? And all the youngsters want to get to UFC. I said to them, bro, take it easy, man. Like sometimes when the session's done, I see some guys doing some stuff after, like intense workout. I'm like, it's all right now because you're young, innit? Do you know what I mean? But maybe, I don't know. I don't know their body. They know the body of me because I care so much and I know what I'm going through. I don't want no one else to go through. If you're in my gym, your family. We're here in the podcast now, your family. So what I like to share with others, innit? So I could be right, I could be wrong, but if I could change anything, you just take it easy, man. Get your treatments, get your massages, take your vitamins, take everything. Do you know what I mean? Because right now I feel like I'm playing catch up. So sorry to waffle on, but that's what I would change if I was in my 20s.
Respect that, man. Respect that. Some big gems there, man.
Yeah.
Dr. Jude?
Me, it's different. It's completely different. If I was to go back to speak to myself in my 20s, I'd tell myself about investing financially,
Okay.
Because I wouldn't say I didn't live a flamboyant life, but like most people, I wanted a nice car. I spent a lot of time in school, so I came out, bought a Mercedes, then the next Mercedes, then a BMW. Vacations in like Thailand and LA and all that stuff, right? Living, paying rent in a nice apartment in London. So I lived a good life in my 20s. I had a lot of fun, but I didn't think about investing any of that money. And I didn't necessarily make a lot of money, but you know what it's like living in London. You make the money, you spend the money. You make the money, you spend the money. And I think it's so important that young people get financially literate early. Yeah? And so now I'm an advocate for that. So I invest in the stock market. Hopefully we'll be getting involved in property. But I just think the freedom that you get when you, first of all, understand money. When you actually bring yourself out of the dark and you understand like compound interest, and you understand all these different asset classes, and you can start little. You can start with a couple £100 a month and watch it snowball. And when you understand that, you feel like liberated. It's like your eyes have opened up. Actually, you haven't got to work check to check for the rest of your life. You can literally calculate and be like, look, I'm going to work for 10 years and then my assets are going to pay for my lifestyle. So I wish I started that, my financial journey a bit earlier. I would have told myself, literally, I would have hit myself with like The Richest Man in Babylon book and say, yo, read this. Probably would have started investing in index funds, something simple. If anyone's listening, S&P 500. Got 10% annual increase, and that compounds over time. So I'd have just started investing in something really simple.
Don't speed past that one, kid. Yeah. Take your time on that one.
Yeah, and so like just get that money, like get it out of the bank. Yeah, don't be giving it to all those German families, BMW and Mercedes Benz and Volkswagen. You save some of that money for yourself. Yeah. So now what I do, and I think this is an important lesson, right? I don't know if everyone's got their own strategy for money, but personally, when I get a paycheck, 20% of that check is mine. As in, I don't spend it. That money goes to go into an asset class and continue to make more money. That's the whole concept of paying yourself first. And then I pay my bills, and then I give the money to the German families and So yeah, I would have just got a bit savvier with money a bit earlier, and then I think you find yourself living a much better life in your 30s and 40s. But anyway, we move, man.
Wow, that's a good one. I have two things I would have told myself in my if I wish I would have known in my 20s. Number one, get a mentor. Yeah, I wish I would have invested in a mentor or worked for free. Yeah, go somewhere and just work free. I like when people do those internships and stuff like that. I never really did one of those because I was training. My sport was my career, but work for free. Go places where like you're young and they like your energy and just be a sponge. Soak up as much information and knowledge as I could possibly can. Yeah. And then when you are ready, you've got you got 10 years of experience in your 20s. Yeah.
Facts.
Mad. Yeah,
Facts.
I would do that. But also I would find out who I am by going home earlier. I didn't start going back to Nigeria till I was in my late 20s. Okay. I wish I would have started going back to Nigeria a lot sooner. Yeah. Because, wow.
Change you, yeah?
Mad. You don't know who you are until you know where you're from.
Yeah, my dad always said that to me. Now I understand.
And then when you know where you're from, you have a clearer understanding of where you're going.
Facts.
Because it's, like there's so many examples. Your surroundings are so clear. You can see why you act a certain way. Exactly. You can understand why you have certain ambitions. Why you have certain weaknesses.
And you're not here by your own doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, I love not being a minority, and that's one thing I love about going back to Africa is just being able to be amongst your own people. Nothing against living as a minority in the US or in the UK, but there are certain things that you can't learn here that you can learn over there. Yeah, and I think that's probably the huge reason why there is certain universities like the HBCUs in the US. HBCUs is historically black college university because they're you learn differently. Yeah, and that's what I would say to myself. If I was in the 20s, I was like, I wish I had a genie or someone. I wouldn't take anything away. Obviously, this is hindsight, but and we can still learn and do these things now in our 30s or in our 40s. That's the thing. It's just the fear of feeling like, I've missed out. No, you haven't missed out. You can still be who you want to be at this stage in your career. You could be in your 40s and just starting out. One of my my managers in Nigeria, he's gone into politics and he's doing really, really well. And he just turned 40, so like I said, there's no time limit, there's no clock. But I just feel like, why not have more information earlier?
What you said just made me think of another thing actually, about getting a mentor. Slightly similar, but just slightly off from that is I think it's so important to have a wide set of skills. And so for me, I was in my 20s, I was so focused on becoming a surgeon, right? I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I was traveling the world, actually going on courses, spent some time just everywhere, all over the world, studying, doing extra degrees, all that stuff, because I knew I wanted to become a surgeon. But I think it's so important to get other skills as well. Okay. And for me, for example, I'm very creative. Yeah, and I've always been that way. I loved music in school. Once I picked up a camera, probably the age of 16, I fell in love. So I also consider myself like amateur filmmaker, and I only really allowed myself to enjoy that in my 30s. And I kind of kept that kind of low key secret, like, because I didn't want people to think, oh, you know, he is a surgeon, but actually he's a bit distracted because he loves like photography and filmmaking and stuff. So what's he doing? And so I didn't really start posting any of the stuff that I created until like 2 or 3 years ago. And I think that actually, if I started, and actually in the 2 or 3 years, my life has changed. Look at it. I am a surgeon. I absolutely love that, but I love being a creative. I was at the Brit Awards yesterday as a creator, not as a doctor. I was invited because of what I create, right?
Big up yourself, bro. Big up yourself.
And so, so just my camera has opened so many doors for me. And I wish I would just had the confidence to just go all in on the side, like 15 years.
Do you regret it or something? Or?
It's not that I regret it, because I loved it, and I always have loved cameras and creating and writing and shooting and editing. I've always, but I didn't necessarily put myself in front of the camera. That I had to learn how to be in front of the camera, and that came a bit later. And then I was also just a bit worried about what people might think about the content I was creating. You know, you're kind of in your head. I'm thinking, I want to be a surgeon, but are they going to understand if I'm like making movies? Like, I don't know, like Darren, we could have been friends. You could have been, I would have documented your come up, you know, and that's so different from surgery. And then I'll be thinking, what are these people going to think about, you know, me? I'm supposed to be a surgeon one day, next day I'm hanging out with Darren and he's breaking people's bones and I'm filming it, making a movie about it. Because I just make movies about anything, right? But I should have just been creative, just let those creative juices flow and just start creating, writing, editing, shooting, networking, just live your passion and just see where it goes. So yeah, I think that if anybody is in their 20s and they've got a hobby and you've got something that really you're passionate about, just live it, just do it, go all in.
Time is now, man.
Yeah.
Wow. The world's opening up the same, you should speak out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
I got some questions for you.
Go on then.
All right. This is because it got really like highbrow. I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit. Yeah,
I'm like that though. I get into these.
I love it.
I love it. Sunday, man. We need to
Super Bowl
lighten
Sunday.
it up a bit. You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
I'm coming to yours tonight. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm gonna be on the.
They see how to act him on the air, so we got receipts.
I'm gonna be on the herbal tea tonight, though. My slippers and nightgown. But anyway, I got a couple questions just to lighten the mood a bit, get to know you guys a bit better. I've got a few questions for you actually, but
fire away. Okay,
so let's say alternative universe, you're not married, you're stranded on a desert island, yeah. I'll say you are married, but you don't have to take your wife.
Yeah, go on.
You're on a desert island, yeah, no books, no tech, yeah. Who you taking with you, and why?
You're going to a desert island.
No, you're stranded on a desert island.
Yeah,
it's a common question, right?
Yeah.
No books, no tech, nothing. Just good old school conversation. Anyone, dead or alive.
Or what am I taking with me?
Who are you taking with you?
Who am I taking with me?
Yeah, dead or alive.
Oh, they're there.
As in you're stranded on the island. Who are you stranded with?
Yeah,
dead or alive.
Me.
Like who you gonna spend a couple of days for that rescue boat with?
Years ago, because
rescue boat's coming in 48 hours.
It's got to be your missus.
No, as I said, it's not because you would say your missus.
Yeah.
Let's say you're not with your missus, yeah, just to get you guys out of trouble because your missus will be watching this. Saying, "How come you didn't take me?"
I plead the fifth.
Stranded though.
As in just good old school conversation or whatever. Like,
so when you say stranded, I like what do we do? Are you trying to
You are stranded. There's nobody there.
It's up to you, bro. Like you're on a
family.
No, bro. No, you're only there you're there for a couple of days. The boat broke down.
Oh, so I know I'm there for a couple of days.
Yeah, you're there for a couple of days.
Oh, that's not even strand. That's not even deep.
Okay,
I get into things like this. That's
okay. Yeah. Because the point is, it's not like a lost scenario where you could be there.
Camera,
okay. The point is, okay, let's just say you're stranded on a desert island. Yeah, God knows, an arbitrary amount of time.
Yeah,
you got mangoes, you got fresh juice, you got all the food you need. Yeah, but you got to have company. Yeah,
man.
Who you taking?
That's why you need a puppy.
A puppy.
Who am I taking? Dead or alive?
Yeah, you're not stranded forever.
You know, I want time to go, man, and I want to laugh, man. This is
I don't know. That's a tough one, bro.
It's weird. I want to say, I don't know, man. Like,
Because even if you didn't bring your missus, you'd be fighting like cat and dog.
Yeah.
After a while, you know what I mean? It just.
But how often do you get to shut off your life though and just chill with somebody and learn and talk?
Women and men don't get on. You need someone with firepower as well.
That's why I say puppy, man. Listen,
puppy.
I'm bringing a puppy out there, bro.
Really?
I don't know about that. You know,
nah, man. I need to survive. Man.
I just want to learn something. I'm taking someone with some wisdom.
Oh, so you're talking about like
anybody?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, bro. You could take Bill Gates.
That celebrity will wear off when you don't know if you're going to survive or not.
No, but you got to learn from. I'm telling you, you're going to survive. I just told you, you got 48 hours isolated.
That one's a mind brick, bro. I don't know how to even bring this one up.
It's hard, you know, man.
Yeah,
we're thinking too much. You know,
we're overthinking it. We're overthinking it.
Here's one. A lighter mood. Reggae or Afro beats? Come on now, you can't think.
That's an easy one for me though. Afro beats.
Can't think deep.
It's bad me saying it on Caribbean, but reggae or Afro beat has to be Afro beat.
Yeah, I still love reggae though. I still love reggae, but it's got
to be dancehall or something. Be different.
Oh, you take dancehall over Afro beats?
Yeah, I like that.
Really?
Yeah, dancehall, man, hardcore, bashment, man. I'm that kind of person. Yeah.
What's the difference between dancehall and reggae? For those that don't know,
you got to be more specific. Like if you said like dancehall reggae and bashment, then more like the new edge came in it. If you're saying like reggae, you're going back to like
old school reggae to me.
Sanchez, It's got to be more specific in it. Afro beats.
See.
So if you just say like old school reggae, I love old school reggae.
Me too. I love old school reggae.
I'm a hype person, a jumpy person. I'll probably Afro beats.
I still play old school reggae. Like if I'm studying,
definitely,
or like I'm just on a chill at home, I'll put on some old school reggae.
I'm gonna get cancelled, man. Caribbean say Afro beat. I'm just being truth, innit?
Listen, I'm 50-50. My dad's Jamaican, my mom's Nigerian.
Yeah.
So for me, I've definitely had a soft spot for like soft reggae. But dancehall, it's not my
It's not your thing, yeah.
I'm definitely Afro beats is the number one genre right now in my opinion. But like I still like, again, you can't go wrong with Bob Marley. You can't go wrong with, you know,
Afro beats always win. I was saying this to my missus as well, like, you know, like, I'm sorry, I'm Caribbean again, but you can't play certain tunes anyway. See, Afrobeat, just bang it on. If you're happy, you're sad, you bang it on.
You don't need to know the lyrics.
You don't need to, man. You know? Like, kids are there, just bang it.
Different languages.
Afrobeats, you can play
anyway. Dancehall tunes you can't play in front of the kids.
You got to make sure, you got to find a clean version.
Exactly. I feel like they're too explicit in those dancehall.
Some of those dance moves as well.
Yeah.
It hurts my back.
I didn't even know you was into dancing like that, man.
Yeah,
even though you're a big guy to be doing all that dancing still.
Yeah, what kind of dancing? What are you talking about? What kind of dancing?
Oh no, you said you do dancing. Like I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You said that was your pass.
When you said dance, I thought you were trying to talk about. He was talking about dancehall, like.
No. But I'm saying like that's like a hobby of yours, right?
Yeah.
Like, my missus actually, she's like,
big, you're a joker.
Yeah, you're a big dancer, man.
I was out last night at a party, innit, and those who know me in the dance scene, salsa scene, know me. If you don't know me, I'm just a normal black guy coming in and into Latin culture, just sitting there, not screw facing, but just sitting there. They're all whatever they're doing, innit, and a certain tune come on. Took my jacket, started dancing. All Latinas were gassed. They're like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you can dance. I thought I was the guy, but I see you dance, and then I come over, you start speaking Spanish, you're speaking English. It didn't make sense. How'd you learn to dance? I've been dancing for years. I just don't show it." He goes, "Yeah, because I don't see it." I said, "Yeah, because I don't have to go in." And the thing is, I like doing that.
Okay.
I don't want to go in as a dancer. Do you know what I mean? In the Latin culture, I had to be a normal black guy. Cause it just seems as a black guy, he can't dance.
It's nice to be underestimated sometimes.
Yeah. Like he's a black guy, he can't dance.
Ocho Cinco.
Most of your football team is a black people. Do you know? Don't get me started, bro. Do you know what I mean? Shout out to Ocho Cinco.
And
people in your country, like black ones that can dance, are black as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love like not standing out. Do you know what I mean? But I've been dancing for time. I've always like, we had a conversation earlier in the podcast. I was saying, I'm not really a theory person. I was good at PE. They call me a kinesthetic learner. So I was always good like that kind of side of things. And I just love doing contempt. I've done it all. When people hear me, or a big fighter, what do you know about? I studied Swan Lake and done contemporary dance and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Bit of street dancing. I've done it all.
Listen, I think we're getting towards the end of our first podcast, our first episode.
I want to end it, man.
Not for likes. Listen,
man.
I'm definitely feeling these vibes, man. I'm definitely feeling these vibes. I don't know. I just feel like DrJude, I know you've got these philosophical.
You know me, I'm here to bring the wisdom, bro.
What can you leave us with? Or what can you send home to the viewers that are tuned in?
Wow.
On our first episode,
man. Well, you know, I think I'm excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
I think we haven't talked too much about the future, but we're hoping to get some really interesting guests on to share their philosophy,
big time,
their mindset. You know how certain people
movers and shakers,
certain challenges, movers and shakers got to where they're at to share their journey as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's weird because I feel like, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like I'm almost in the second chapter of my life. I know there's a long first chapter if you think about it, but like the first chapter for me was just like raw passion, like studying, like traveling, trying to get involved in a world that didn't see too many people like us.
Yeah.
And my whole mindset had to be like, I liken it to boxing. You talked about Mike Tyson, and I don't know if you saw, I kind of gave you the salute, because Mike Tyson was like, I looked up to him because of his mindset, because he, like, if you look at some of his old footage,
not for likes mindset.
Yeah. If you look at his old footage, I actually think he's the best boxer in the world in history, and he shouldn't really be, because he's really short with a really short reach, right? But he's ferocious and technically so gifted, and that was like, I say gifted, but actually it was about the commitment that he put into it, right? And so anyway, I feel like I've gone through my Mike Tyson era. And I feel like I'm into the second Mike era where I'm more philosophical now. And I'm like, you know, I just want to impart wisdom and help the next generation and teach a little bit. So
I like that.
Yeah. So hopefully
I like that.
More to come.
Definitely take that. I think that as much as it was inspired by like the first chapter Mike, that second chapter Mike, revolutionary.
Yeah, for real.
Revolutionary. I mean, you know? And I feel like you have to go through the fire to get there.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't just this is the day. You have to, you know what I mean, to go through the ringer.
Definitely.
You know? And
the fight.
I think life is a constant fight.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like, you know, it's sad, but those that don't make it to their second chapter in life, it's also, you know, a disservice, you know what I mean? And it's really unfortunate, because who knows what could have come out. But anyway, I don't want to go too deep into that, because that is a touchy one. But again, we got to talk on it on this platform.
Definitely,
because you know if we don't, who will? I know.
That's it.
And if not now, when? So guys, you know, this has been an absolute pleasure to be able to get the pilot run out and bring this to you live. We are on all platforms. We're on Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Anything you find us on Not For Likes Podcast. On Twitter, it's Not For Likes Pod. They won't allow me to add all those characters. But you can find us on all those for sure. And we got merch on the way. We're going to have tons of guests that is going to just like blow your mind. So stay tuned. Keep us locked in. Again,
that's it.
Take what you need. Leave what you like.
That's it.
I'm Mike.
Not For Likes.
Darren.
DrJude.
Till next time.
Be good.
Pull it back, cutting them a charger. And I learned how I got them. Them man splash on nonsense. Master the team, do it properly. Master the craft like a blacksmith. Embrace the blackness.